Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, of course, help understand best practice and big picture. And if you're new to the channel, hope you can learn something here today. And obviously, consider becoming a community member if you want to become a better trader. CryptoCache.tech is a site. I have a trading community, signal group, and academy. Awesome experience. There are over 300 members presently, and I think you're going to find benefit if you decide you want to do that. Either way, learn what you can from these videos. That's the whole point of this. I just love teaching people how to trade. I've been trading forever, well, not forever, but for 15, 16 years now. And I can tell you that it's a wonderful life, and I wouldn't ask for anything more. This is my full-time job. Anyways, that being said, let's look here at Bitcoin. Big picture, what's going on here? Well, today's a pretty big day in a lot of ways. Granted, we haven't closed on the one-day candlestick just yet, but it is looking very, very forgiving here in the sense of the fact that we're up over a key level resistance at the 200, correction, the 50-day SIP moving average, which is 42,000. That's basically that synonymous line that we saw with 50 on the RSI, 50 on the SMA, and of course, 42,000 as a resistance. Now, if we take a look at the RSI, it is peaking above 50. Now, this is not closed yet. The candlestick isn't officially finished. We've got plenty of hours left. In fact, I think Jerome Powell's giving a speech here today, so there's anything could happen. But for lack of better terms, we're up over a key level resistance for the moment, and until we close above that, it's not official. But it is very promising here in the sense that 42 should work as a support level now. We'll look at this in the smaller time frames, just so you understand what that means. And it's going to be looking much better than it would be adverse. A lot of people are saying it's a bull trap, perhaps, but this is a very healthy continuation, and it doesn't seem like it's going to want to turn around anytime soon. All right, so again, just some things there. We also have MACD convergence here as well forming. It hasn't fully happened yet either. We're kind of on the precipice of greatness if we can get a nice candlestick close above 42 today. Anywhere between 42 to 43 would be fantastic. That way we're not overextending ourselves and we're pulling back a little bit, which is basically what's happening now because it did get a little bit on the overextended side. That being said, that's what the one day kind of looks like. Honestly, the one day looks very good, very promising, and I think we should celebrate that. First of all, with the 4-hour time frame, something to note, we got the 200-day SMA kind of working as a potential resistance at 43,200. Obviously, 43 is the point of contention for the moment. Price came up there and immediately rejected, but once again, it was a bit on the overextended side on a shorter time frame, so that has a lot to do with it. We also, take a look at the RSI where we kind of got rejected off of 70 in a sense, but this is healthy. This is part of that healthy staircase pattern where the price comes up and over and keeps testing the resistance levels and then consolidates and ramps back up again. So the likelihood of the price coming back down here to 42 to consolidate and legging up once more is quite high, considering the overall trend and momentum here. Furthermore, we cannot overlook the simple fact that we have a lot more volume now than we did before. And this is huge. We want to make sure to understand that because more volume now is leading to this price increase. If we can continue to maintain this volume, we're going to be looking pretty darn good. All right. And you could argue here that, hey, okay, we have a really large red candle here that doesn't look very good. Not true. In fact, high volume there with the price going sideways, essentially getting rejected there, tells us there's more consolidation here and there's more buying efforts, and we're less likely for the price to decrease past 42 based on the fact that we have an increased amount of volume here recently. Again, a lot of good stuff here for the most part, but if you take the tail end of last week and you compare it with the start of the tail end of this week, we're looking at much better, of course, based on the simple fact that the volume is tremendously higher. So again, just some things to pay attention to. I think volume speaks very loud, and we need to kind of try to listen there. And obviously, if we take the volume of just say the month, let's go ahead and shoot out a little bit further here. Let's go ahead and say the start of the month. We've seen the most amount of volume accumulation right around 40,200, and even more volume accumulation at 41,300. So that kind of builds that steady foundation. So if the price were to retrace, we shouldn't expect a significant blast through into that area. We probably should see some strong resistance to the upside, essentially some support, pushing the price higher. All right. So again, for the most part, everything looks very good here. I'm not just trying to be positive, which I am naturally a positive person. I'm telling you straight that this is looking very good. Granted, we are not out of the woods yet either. Again, the candlestick hasn't closed yet, so we can't get super excited. We see Bitcoin dominance is actually higher now today than previous, which is explaining why a lot of altcoins are kind of stagnant for the moment. They're waiting for Bitcoin to establish itself because there's a lot more money coming into Bitcoin than other altcoins. And once the money essentially comes from Bitcoin, goes to the other altcoins like it's doing right now. This retracement is very healthy. It's going to start stimulating those other altcoins as we bounce off of key level resistances and supports, which right now at 42,000 is the tentative support level. We need to kind of anticipate being a likely support moving forward, because once again, it was a strong resistance here, strong support here, and now it can be established as a support level as well because the 4 hour is closed above that. Once again, we can't establish that on the 1 day just yet because the candlestick hasn't closed, but the 4 hour is telling us that that's a likely bottom here in the immediate near future. Again, pending no crazy fundamental stuff happens today, we should be in pretty good shape here to continue to consolidate between 42 and 43 and keep this healthy continuation pattern to the upside. All right. So just be careful shorting right now. I know it seems juicy and it's like, oh man, it seems like a great opportunity, but you know, we have confirmation the price is moving upwards. Until that confirmation changes, there's no reason to start just shorting because it feels overextended. You don't necessarily have to always short when we have an overextension. But let's take a look here at the 1 hour and kind of identify, because generally speaking, we can see that we're at we hit an 8 and we got a reset down to a 1 here. So potential of 8 hours more of consolidation / retracement to the downside. Now that doesn't mean the price is just going to keep going down for 8 more hours. That really just tells us that if there is a potential for it to go for 8 hours, it'll go in the potential downward or potential sideways direction for the next 8 hours possible. Now again, as we can see here previously, Bitcoin, when it hits these consolidation phases, we get a lot of resets. So hypothetically, we should get some resets here before the next leg up. And I don't think we're going to see a full 9 to the downside here for Bitcoin based on the simple fact that, again, healthy increase is followed by healthy volume. And obviously, profits need to be taken. That's just kind of the natural way of trading. But this should work as a strong support considering how strong of a resistance it was previously. And obviously there was a strong push here as well. A lot of shorts potentially got squeezed out there. Maybe not a lot. I know there wasn't a tremendous amount, but those things happen, and that basically just implies that the bulls are more so in control now than they have been in the past. Once again, the volume is helping us support that premise. Okay. So all in all, I feel like 42,000 should be the immediate bottom here today. That could, of course, change depending on the fundamental catalyst that could potentially push the price action down lower, with Jerome Powell giving a speech. From what I understand, he's going to give a speech here today. And obviously, we got to be prepared for anything. But generally speaking, even though it might be a little bit on the volatile side during that time frame, we should expect the price to average out around 42 to 43. I think we're going to anticipate another channel type of situation here and a potential leg up to the upside. Another thing to kind of pay attention to here, and this is a bit of a stretch, but just kind of something to kind of keep your mind on. We obviously have 42,000 here for the 1 day, working as a support level for 3 days, and we lost that. If we can close above here, we might actually fulfill a type of pattern here, essentially, that allows for the price to continue to increase as it consolidates here. So hypothetically, we could have a couple more days worth of consolidation at 42, and then the price continues higher to try to test 48/50. There's definitely a strong potential for that. Once again, increased volume is telling me that we are likely to see more upside than downside based on the fact that there's buying pressure and there seems to be a lot less selling pressure for the moment. Okay? Again, these are just the things that I see here that are telling me that we're more likely to increase than we are to decrease. But again, a lot can change, a lot can happen. But for the moment, what we see here so far is a nice bullish continuation. We have a strong potential for a momentous trend to the upside here, because oftentimes when these type of trends occur, you can see pretty strong shifts in momentum and they continue for quite some time. Again, that's just the pattern that we're in right now. Okay? We're in this kind of range trade type of situation where the price comes down and just keeps on ranging right in between these same levels. And until it breaks that range, we have to kind of anticipate that it's going to continue that. That's kind of how ranges are, and that is essentially how trend lines work too. Trend is your friend until it isn't. So why attach yourself to a price point down in the 30,000 range when it's obvious that the price is shooting up right now and we have volume to support that? And we held strong at this key level support right at 39,000. We went from 35, 37, 38 to 39. At this same trajectory, within a month time, roughly by the end of May, we should have 42,000 as the effective bottom. Once again, these trends will not continue forever, but until it breaks, we have no reason to consider that we are remotely bearish on Bitcoin, at least until we break 39,000, or more importantly, 37.5, to effectively create a lower low. We still haven't made lower lows, we're making higher lows, and those things are extremely important to acknowledge. All right, again, just kind of driving some things home there, because I'm sure there's a lot of folks out there, I don't listen to them. This is really the only thing that I do. I don't listen to anybody at all. But I hear from my community that there's other folks talking about a significant bearish divergence. Again, potential, of course. We got to keep our minds open to the fact that that could happen. But the charts aren't telling us that that's going to happen right now, okay? And that's what we deal with. We deal with the here and now, not the hypothetical. I mean, everything's kind of hypothetical when you think about it. But for the most part, if we look at the data that's here, we have a lot of key level supports that are likely going to be working in our favor. Once again, we want this candlestick to close above 42,000 today to be able to affirm that we have broken that key level resistance. That isn't official yet, so try not to get too premature in your presumptions here that we are back on track. That doesn't even mean we're back on track if we're up over 42, but it does imply that we're on the right side of the tracks and we are still tentatively moving upwards, okay? All right, so again, just some things to kind of think about. I hope that this makes sense in how I explained it, and kind of try to wrap your head around it. So needless to say, I do greatly appreciate, once again, all your support, current community members, etc. Everyone, thank you so much for joining me here, of course. And if you want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is a site. Link in the description below. I look forward to working with you. Have a great rest of your day.